Hey everybody, coming at you with another IGT S Plus slot video. Today we're going to be covering how to do the factory reset RAM clear procedure. I do want to start off by saying that the factory RAM clear with these chips should be used as a last resort. If you're having a specific error with your machine, try the forums, Google, maybe I'll have some more videos up here if I run into trouble. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. You're going to start off by removing your hopper. Again, really nothing to disconnect. Just give it a good firm grasp on the bottom handle and pull out towards yourself. And then go ahead and pull out your MPU board by gently but firmly lifting up with the black button to remove it. Now that we're magically transported to the workbench, you want to find your game ROM. And, with an EEPROM puller or a flathead screwdriver, carefully work your way out. Again, you don't want to hit that transistor. You don't want to pull up your socket. You don't want to scratch traces on the board. So make sure you are between the chip and the socket while you're removing the chip. And just as carefully as you removed it, go ahead and put in your clear chip where you took that game ROM out. Be careful not to put too much pressure on while you push it in. You don't want to bend any legs. Now we're going to go ahead and put the MPU board back in. Again, kind of pre-fitting it, making sure that the notches and the slots line up on the MPU board, both top and bottom. Align it just over your plugs because you want to make sure they match up and don't bend any pins. And then firmly kind of push across the top of the board to make sure the whole thing is seated. Now we're ready to go ahead and power the game back on. And if you don't do anything, it's just going to kind of sit here with the zeros displaying on the winner paid and the coins played. So to trigger the factory reset, I've actually seen two versions of the instructions. One is what I did here. I actually pushed the test button twice. You'll see the credits display starts to count up once. Now it goes through a second cycle and will count up to $9.99. Once it sits there on $9.99, I just let it sit there for a minute, and then you're ready to go ahead and power off the machine. The instructions that actually came with my chip had the version where instead of hitting the test button, you actually hit the spin reels button. And it should actually go through the same process. I just haven't tried it that way. Now once again, let's go ahead and carefully pull out the MPU board. And we're going to carefully remove the game PROM chip that had the clear chip installed. Just FYI, I am using what they call the Clear 123 chip. This is for Triple Diamond is the software I'm running. You may have different clear or set chips depending on what game you actually have installed, but the Clear 123 I believe is the most universal version. And again, be very careful replacing that game ROM. This is actually the second take of the video. On the first one, something just wasn't lined up and I bent some pins, as you can see here. So don't just take it for granted that it lined up the first time. Once again, go ahead and put the MPU board carefully back in the machine. Followed by the hopper. And now you're ready to go ahead and turn the machine back on. And this time it's going to be normal to get the 61 error. So you want to go ahead and, I don't know why I closed the door, but let's go ahead and open it up. Hold the test switch. Once it dings and the 1 appears, shut your door and make sure that the door optics are registering the door is closed. And then you're going to want to turn the Jackpot reset key 1 time. Now, depending on what your original error was, you may get something different here, but we're looking for a 65 or a 63 error. And in my case, I get the 65. So we turn the Jackpot key 1 time, and in my case it looks like we're back on 0. And in the 63 errors, it may change to another second digit, but you want to try one more turn to clear it. So I had just let it sit a minute, make sure it wasn't in the middle of any cycles, turned off the machine. Now we're turning it back on, and you can see we are going through our normal boot cycle and real initialization spin. And closing the door, making sure the optics register closed, should cause the coins played to flash. And it looks like we're good to go. The reel should start spinning. And there it is. I had to cut away here. I wanted to show you some test spins, but apparently my next problem was the coin comparator was not actually adjusted properly. We've come back from fixing that. You can see it takes the first 2 coins, rejects the 3rd one as it should, and we are ready to play. So again, guys, I leave you here hoping that you found it informative and useful. So if you enjoyed the video, let's click that like button, click that subscribe button. Thanks, guys.